Mark, Brooke, we're here at Armistice in Cambridge this year. You're part of the New Zealand Wars re-enactment group. What's your official group name?
We have several names. We usually go by the Hunua Volunteer Rifles normally. We do armed constabulary, which is post-67, but we also do New Zealand Wars period with elements of the regular British troops, 65th and 43rd Regiment.
So how many members of the group in total?
We've got about 12 here today. So we had about 8 yesterday, so it varies.
And what aspects of colonial life do you recreate?
Mainly the military side of it, military primitive camping, or state-of-the-art camping as it was then, quite primitive by today's standards, cooking on fires, etc. Military drill and all that sort of carry on.
I see you've got a lot of equipment laid out here today. Is this all original period pieces?
No, some of it's original, a lot of it's replicas and stuff we've made.
The little mortar thing on the ground, what's that?
That is called a cohorn mortar, and it was state-of-the-art siege artillery for the time here in New Zealand. It's quite supposedly portable. 4 of us struggled to carry it.
Mark, so you mentioned that the group reenacts the 65th and the 43rd. What do these two units actually do?
They were brought here when there was troubles between the native peoples and the settlers, or the New Zealand government at the time, basically to keep law and order, as pretty much they did in all their colonies.
I noticed you've got a couple of ladies in their finery with you in the camp followers perhaps?
Yeah, I don't know whether they'd like that term or not, but yes, they're a very valuable part of our team. They keep a guard on the camp. The older lady there's actually my mother, and she's got a full firearms licence, so she looks after everything while we're away fighting.
And I notice one of your fellows appears to be wearing a kilt, which also looks a bit like a blanket. Tell me a little bit about that.
That's what they call, the Maori people call a rapaki. And the armed constabulary call that shawl dress. And rather than trousers in the bush where you've got a lot of wet foliage and river crossings, it's the most practical method and they've actually borrowed that idea from the native people, as they found it the most practical garment for getting around, and it is very useful even in this modern day.
So did the regulars wear that, or was that an irregular dress?
That's more New Zealand troops' dress, rather than the regular forces never did that. They didn't actually go bush that much. Seriously, that was left to forest rangers, etc.
Is your group open to taking new members on?
Yeah, we are. Unfortunately, most of the stuff we have to make ourselves. Some of it we can source from overseas. The weapons and equipment are virtually the same as what was used in the American Civil War, and there's a big following of that in the States, so you can get quite a lot of stuff, but tunics and things you've got to make yourself. You can pick up trousers. We mix and match and mend things as best we can.
And so if people were interested in getting in touch with you, how would they do that?
Best way to get in touch with me is on the Auckland Black Powder Club website. So if you just type in Auckland Black Powder Club, you'll get something, and my details will be on there.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you.